Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling like something was left unsaid? Perhaps the words exchanged seemed clear, but an underlying tension or unspoken emotion lingered in the air. The truth is, communication is far more than the words we speak. It's a symphony of body language, facial expressions, and subconscious cues that often tell a deeper story. As the renowned psychologist Albert Mehrabian once said, only 7% of communication is verbal, while 93% is nonverbal. This staggering statistic reveals just how much we communicate without saying a word. From a fleeting micro-expression to the way someone crosses their arms, these subtle signals can transform the meaning of a conversation entirely. The good news? You don't need to be a mind reader to decode them. With a little practice, anyone can learn to navigate the hidden layers of human interaction. Human behavior, though intricate, often follows patterns that can be decoded with the right tools. Imagine this: you're at a networking event, and someone greets you with a smile, but their eyes dart around the room, and their handshake feels limp. What does it mean? Their words might say, "It's great to meet you," but their body language screams, "I'd rather be anywhere else." These unconscious signals, whether it's a furrowed brow, a nervous tap of the foot, or a slight shift in posture, are windows into what someone is truly thinking and feeling. As the author and behavioral expert Vanessa Van Edwards puts it, your body speaks before you do. By learning to interpret these cues, you can move beyond superficial exchanges and tap into a deeper understanding of the people around you. It's not about becoming a psychologist, it's about equipping yourself with practical skills to enhance your relationships and communication. In this exploration, we'll dive into the fascinating world of nonverbal communication, emotional intelligence, and the hidden motivations that drive human behavior. You'll discover how a simple tilt of the head can convey empathy, how mirroring someone's gestures can build trust, and how asking the right questions can uncover truths that words alone cannot express. We'll also explore how our earliest relationships, shaped by childhood attachment styles, influence the way we connect with others as adults. These insights aren't just theoretical, they're actionable tools that can transform the way you interact with colleagues, friends, and loved ones. Picture this: you're in a heated discussion with a partner, and instead of reacting defensively, you notice their clenched fists and softened gaze. Suddenly, you realize their anger is masking hurt. This awareness allows you to respond with compassion rather than conflict. So, are you ready to unlock the secrets of human connection? To see beyond the words and into the heart of what people are truly communicating? As the saying goes, the eyes are the window to the soul, but the body is the roadmap to understanding. By the end of this journey, you'll have the tools to connect with others on a deeper, more meaningful level. Let's dive in and start thinking like a psychologist, because the most powerful conversations often happen without a single word being spoken. About the author. Patrick King is a best-selling author and social skills coach specializing in social psychology and human behavior. His work focuses on enhancing communication, building confidence, and understanding interpersonal dynamics. He has written several popular books, including Read People Like a Book, Better Small Talk, and The Art of Witty Banter. His expertise has been featured in major publications such as Business Insider, Forbes, and Men's Fitness. Chapter 1: Master the Art of Reading Body Language, Unlock Hidden Emotions and Improve Communication Skills. Picture this: you're at a coffee shop, engrossed in a conversation with a friend. They're smiling and nodding, but something feels off. Their arms are crossed, their shoulders are tense, and their eyes keep darting to the door. Despite their reassuring words, their body is screaming discomfort. This is the power of nonverbal communication. It speaks volumes, even when words fall short. As the famous psychologist Paul Ekman once said, the face is a picture of the mind with the eyes as its interpreter. From the subtlest micro-expression to the way someone positions their feet, our bodies are constantly revealing truths we might otherwise try to hide. Long before humans developed language, our ancestors relied on gestures, facial expressions, and posture to communicate. These primal tools are still deeply ingrained in us today. Consider this: a baby smiles instinctively to bond with its caregiver, while a dog wags its tail to show excitement. Similarly, our faces are incredibly expressive, capable of conveying a wide range of emotions in an instant. There are two types of facial expressions to watch for: macro-expressions, which are slower and often intentional, and micro-expressions, which are lightning fast and involuntary. These micro-expressions, like a quick flash of anger or a fleeting look of fear, are particularly revealing because they're nearly impossible to fake. As Ekman notes, micro-expressions are the most honest form of communication. But the face is just the beginning. Our bodies are equally expressive. Think about the last time you felt truly at ease. Chances are, your posture was open, your gestures were fluid, and you took up space. Now, recall a moment of anxiety or discomfort. Did you cross your arms? Slouch? Avoid eye contact? These are universal signs of unease. For example, leaning towards someone often signals interest or agreement, while pulling away can indicate discomfort or disagreement. Even the direction of someone's feet can be telling. If they're pointed toward the door, they might be subconsciously planning their exit. When decoding body language, start by observing whether someone's movements are expansive or restrictive. Are their gestures open and free-flowing, or are they closed off and tense? Next, focus on their face. A relaxed, symmetrical expression usually indicates genuine emotion, while an uneven or strained look might suggest something is being concealed. But here's the catch: context is everything. A furrowed brow could mean concentration, frustration, or even confusion, depending on the situation. That's why it's crucial to compare these signals to a person's baseline behavior. What's normal for one person might be a red flag for another. It's also important to remember that body language isn't an exact science. A single gesture or expression doesn't tell the whole story. For instance, crossed arms might signal defensiveness, but they could also mean someone is cold or simply comfortable. The key is to look for clusters of cues. If someone is avoiding eye contact, fidgeting, and leaning away, it's likely they're feeling uneasy. As the saying goes, actions speak louder than words, but it's the combination of actions that reveals the truth. By becoming more attuned to these signals, you can gain deeper insights into what others are really thinking and feeling. Ultimately, mastering nonverbal communication isn't just about understanding others, it's also about becoming more aware of your own body language. Are you sending the right signals? Are your gestures aligning with your words? This self-awareness can transform your interactions, helping you build stronger, more authentic connections. As Maya Angelou famously said, "People will forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel." By honing your ability to read and respond to nonverbal cues, you can create more meaningful relationships and navigate the complexities of human interaction with confidence. So, the next time you find yourself in a conversation, remember, the most powerful messages are often the ones left unspoken. Chapter 2: Master Emotional Intelligence, Unlock Hidden Emotions and Build Deeper Connections. Imagine this: you're in a meeting, and a colleague presents an idea with enthusiasm. Their words are confident, but you notice a slight tremor in their voice and a quick glance at the floor. Suddenly, you realize their excitement is masking nervousness. This is the power of emotional intelligence, the ability to see beyond words and into the emotions that drive behavior. As Daniel Goleman, the pioneer of emotional intelligence, once said, "What really matters for success, character, and happiness is a different kind of intelligence, emotional intelligence. It's the invisible thread that weaves through every interaction, shaping how we connect with others and understand ourselves." The journey to emotional intelligence begins with self-awareness, the cornerstone of understanding emotions. It's about asking yourself questions like, "What am I truly feeling right now?" Or "Why did this situation trigger such a strong reaction?" For instance, imagine you're stuck in traffic, and frustration starts bubbling up. Instead of letting it consume you, you pause and reflect: is it really the traffic, or am I stressed about something else? This simple act of self-reflection can transform how you respond to challenges. Self-awareness lays the groundwork for self-management, the ability to channel emotions constructively. Instead of lashing out in anger or bottling up feelings, you learn to express them in ways that foster understanding and resolution. But emotional intelligence isn't just about managing your own emotions, it's also about harnessing them to fuel growth. This is where self-motivation comes in. Think about the last time you complained about something. Was it just venting, or did it reveal an underlying problem that needed solving? For example, if you find yourself constantly frustrated at work, it might be a sign to seek new challenges or develop new skills. As the saying goes, every complaint is a gift. By reframing challenges as opportunities, you cultivate a mindset of resilience and proactivity, turning obstacles into stepping stones. Once you've mastered your own emotional landscape, you can turn your focus outward to social awareness. This is the ability to read the room, to sense the emotions of others even when they're unspoken. People rarely say exactly what they feel. Instead, they communicate through subtle cues: a hesitant pause, a forced smile, or a shift in tone. A powerful way to build social awareness is to ask yourself, what might this behavior mean? Or what's the story behind their words? For instance, if a friend says they're fine but avoids eye contact, they might be hiding deeper feelings. By tuning into these signals, You can respond with empathy and understanding, creating a safe space for authentic connection. To strengthen your emotional intelligence, become an active observer of the world around you. Pay attention to moments when words and actions don't align. Maybe a coworker says they're excited about a project, but their slumped posture and monotone voice suggest otherwise. Or perhaps a loved one insists they're not upset, yet their crossed arms and clipped responses tell a different story. These mismatches are clues to the emotions beneath the surface. By learning to recognize and respond to these unspoken cues, you can navigate relationships with greater sensitivity and insight. In a world that often prioritizes words over emotions, emotional intelligence bridges the gap between what's said and what's felt. It's the key to unlocking deeper connections, fostering empathy, and understanding the hidden forces that shape human behavior. When you tune into the emotions that drive actions, both your own and others, you open the door to a richer, more meaningful way of interacting with the world. So, the next time you find yourself in a conversation, remember, the most powerful messages are often the ones left unspoken. By mastering emotional intelligence, you can uncover these hidden truths and transform the way you connect with others. Chapter 3: Unlock Hidden Truths, How to Ask the Right Questions to Understand People Better. Imagine this: you're at a dinner party, and someone asks you, "What's your greatest achievement?" You pause, think, and begin to share a story. But here's the twist: it's not just your words that matter. The way you tell the story, the emotions in your voice, and the details you choose to highlight reveal far more about you than the achievement itself. As the renowned author Maya Angelou once said, "People will forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel." This is the power of indirect questioning. It uncovers the hidden layers of personality, values, and motivations that lie beneath the surface. One of the most effective ways to uncover what drives someone is through the 7 stories exercise. Here's how it works: ask someone to recount their top 7 achievements. It's not just about the achievements themselves, but how they describe them. Do they focus on teamwork, personal growth, or overcoming obstacles? The stories they choose and the emotions they express reveal what they truly value. For example, someone who highlights a solo project might prioritize independence, while another who emphasizes a team effort might value collaboration. As the saying goes, actions speak louder than words, and this exercise turns abstract thoughts into tangible insights. Another fascinating method to explore someone's inner world is through Carl Jung's personality prompts. These creative questions ask people to describe a color, an animal, a body of water, and a white room using 4 adjectives each. While it might sound whimsical, the descriptors they choose can reveal surprising truths about their self-perception, relationships, and even their views on life and death. For instance, describing a body of water as calm versus turbulent might reflect their emotional state or outlook on life. Though not scientifically rigorous, these prompts offer a playful yet profound way to spark meaningful conversations. Why do indirect questions work so well? They bypass the defenses people often put up when asked direct, personal questions. Instead of feeling interrogated, they feel engaged. This approach allows them to share more naturally, revealing subtle clues in their tone, phrasing, and body language. As the psychologist Carl Rogers noted, what is most personal is most universal. By focusing on stories and metaphors, you tap into universal human experiences, making it easier for people to open up and share their true selves. But this technique isn't just for understanding others, it's also a mirror for self-discovery. The stories you tell, the way you frame them, and the answers you give to indirect questions offer a window into your own psyche. For example, if you consistently describe challenges as opportunities, it might reveal an optimistic mindset. On the other hand, if you focus on obstacles, it could indicate a more cautious or resilient approach. By reflecting on your own responses, you gain deeper insights into your values, fears, and aspirations. Ultimately, the art of asking thoughtful, indirect questions transforms ordinary conversations into meaningful exchanges. It's not just about the answers you receive, but the emotions, patterns, and unspoken truths that emerge. As the philosopher Socrates famously said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." By mastering this approach, you not only deepen your understanding of others but also enrich your own self-awareness. So, the next time you're in a conversation, try asking a question that invites a story. You might be surprised by what you discover. Chapter 4: Crack the Code of Human Behavior, Understanding Motivation to Predict Actions. Picture this: you're at work, and a colleague who's usually quiet suddenly takes charge of a high-stakes project. They're working late, volunteering for extra tasks, and leading meetings with newfound confidence. What's driving this sudden shift? Is it the thrill of achievement, the desire for recognition, or the fear of failure? Human behavior often seems mysterious, but when you peel back the layers, it all comes down to motivation. As the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." Understanding what drives people, whether it's the pursuit of pleasure or the avoidance of pain, can unlock the secrets behind their actions. At the heart of human motivation lies the pleasure principle. It's the instinctive drive to seek comfort, joy, and reward while steering clear of discomfort and pain. Think about it: why do we crave delicious food, seek out enjoyable experiences, or avoid stressful situations? It's all rooted in this basic principle. Interestingly, research shows that people often work harder to avoid pain than to achieve pleasure. For example, the fear of losing a job might push someone to work overtime, while the promise of a bonus might not have the same effect. As the saying goes, pain is a greater motivator than pleasure. By asking, what pleasure are they chasing, or what pain are they avoiding, you can often uncover the hidden forces behind someone's behavior. Another powerful lens for understanding motivation is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. This model breaks down human desires into 5 levels: physiological needs, like food and shelter, safety, love and belonging, self-esteem, and self-actualization. Each level represents a different stage of motivation, and people's actions often reflect which stage they're prioritizing. For instance, someone struggling to make ends meet might focus solely on survival, while someone in a stable job might seek meaningful relationships or personal growth. Imagine a friend who's always organizing social events. They're likely driven by the need for love and belonging. As Maslow himself noted, what a man can be, he must be. Understanding where someone falls on this hierarchy can help you predict their behavior and connect with them on a deeper level. David McClelland's model of motivation simplifies this even further, identifying 3 key drivers: affiliation, power, and achievement. People motivated by affiliation thrive on relationships and acceptance, while those driven by power seek influence and control. Achievement-oriented individuals, on the other hand, are focused on setting and reaching goals. Think about a leader who's always pushing their team to innovate. They're likely driven by achievement. Or consider a coworker who's always mediating conflicts. They're probably motivated by affiliation. As McClelland observed, the need for achievement is the engine of economic growth. By identifying which of these forces is at play, you can better understand what makes people tick. One of the most powerful yet invisible motivators is the need to protect the ego. This drive operates beneath the surface, compelling people to safeguard their self-image from anything that might threaten it. Defense mechanisms like denial, rationalization, and projection often come into play here. For example, someone who fails at a task might blame external factors rather than admitting their own shortcomings. As Sigmund Freud famously said, the ego is not master in its own house. This need to protect the ego can override other motivators, shaping behavior in subtle but profound ways. In the end, all human behavior boils down to the pursuit of pleasure or the avoidance of pain. Whether it's the joy of achieving a goal, the comfort of belonging, or the fear of failure, these forces drive every decision we make. By understanding these universal motivators, you can gain a clearer perspective on why people act the way they do, and even predict their next move. So, the next time you're puzzled by someone's behavior, ask yourself, what are they chasing, and what are they running from? The answers might surprise you. Chapter 5: How Childhood Shapes You, Unlocking the Secrets of Attachment Styles and Early Influences. Imagine this: you're at a party, and you notice 2 friends interacting with the group. One is warm, engaging, and effortlessly connects with everyone, while the other hangs back, hesitant to join conversations. What makes these 2 people so different? The answer might lie in their childhoods. As the psychologist John Bowlby once said, "What cannot be communicated to the mother cannot be communicated to the self." Our earliest relationships with caregivers lay the foundation for how we connect with others and see ourselves. These childhood experiences create subconscious patterns that shape our behaviors, relationships, and worldviews well into adulthood. One of the most powerful frameworks for understanding these patterns is attachment theory. Developed by Bowlby and later expanded by Mary Ainsworth, this theory identifies 4 primary attachment styles: secure, anxious preoccupied, dismissive avoidant, and fearful avoidant. People with a secure attachment style often had warm, consistent caregiving as children, which taught them to trust others and approach relationships with confidence. They're the ones who seem emotionally balanced and comfortable with intimacy. On the other hand, those with an anxious preoccupied style often grew up in environments where love felt conditional or inconsistent. As a result, they constantly seek reassurance and worry about being unloved, turning small slights into sources of deep anxiety. Then there are the dismissive avoidant individuals, who tend to avoid emotional closeness altogether. For them, vulnerability feels like a threat to their independence, so they create distance to maintain control. Imagine a friend who always seems aloof or detached. They might fall into this category. Finally, those with a fearful avoidant style crave connection but are paralyzed by a fear of rejection or abandonment, often due to past trauma or neglect. This internal conflict can lead them to avoid relationships entirely, as the risk of hurt feels too great. As the saying goes, the wounds of the past shape the armor of the present. But attachment styles are just one piece of the puzzle. Our upbringing also profoundly influences our self-esteem and self-belief. Think about how you were praised, criticized, or guided as a child. Did your parents encourage you to take risks and celebrate your achievements, or were they overly critical or dismissive? These early interactions leave a lasting imprint on how we see ourselves. For example, someone who grew up in a nurturing environment might approach challenges with confidence, while someone who faced constant criticism might struggle with self-doubt. As the author Brené Brown puts it, we are biologically, cognitively, physically, and spiritually wired to love, be loved, and belong. When that need isn't met in childhood, it can ripple through every aspect of our lives. Birth order adds another fascinating layer to the mix. While not scientifically proven, this theory suggests that firstborns often carry the weight of parental expectations, secondborns might strive for attention, and youngest children tend to embrace freedom and risk. For instance, a firstborn might grow up to be a natural leader, while a youngest child might become the life of the party. These dynamics arise from family roles and interactions, leaving subtle but enduring effects on personality. By examining the influence of early experiences, attachment styles, self-perception, and family dynamics, we can uncover the patterns and motivations that drive behavior. Understanding these roots not only helps us make sense of our own actions but also fosters empathy for others. As the poet Maya Angelou wisely said, "Do the best you can until you know better. Then, when you know better, do better." By reflecting on how our past shapes our present, we can break free from limiting patterns and build healthier, more fulfilling relationships. So, the next time you wonder why someone acts the way they do, consider their childhood. It might hold the key to understanding them. In summary, in this journey through the intricacies of human behavior, we've explored the hidden forces that shape our actions, relationships, and self-perception. From the power of nonverbal communication and emotional intelligence to the profound impact of childhood experiences, this book has unveiled the secrets behind why we do what we do. We've learned how to decode body language, interpret emotions, and ask the right questions to uncover deeper truths. As we've seen, understanding these dynamics not only helps us connect with others but also fosters greater self-awareness and personal growth. One of the most fascinating revelations is the role of attachment styles in shaping our relationships. Whether secure, anxious preoccupied, dismissive avoidant, or fearful avoidant, these patterns rooted in childhood influence how we approach intimacy, trust, and vulnerability. By recognizing these styles in ourselves and others, we can build healthier, more fulfilling connections. Similarly, we've delved into the universal motivators, pleasure, pain, and the pursuit of needs, that drive human behavior. Whether it's Maslow's hierarchy of needs or McClelland's model of affiliation, power, and achievement, these frameworks offer valuable tools for understanding what makes people tick. We've also explored the importance of emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize and manage emotions in ourselves and others. By tuning into subtle cues like micro-expressions and body language, we can navigate conversations with greater empathy and insight. The art of asking thoughtful, indirect questions has emerged as a powerful way to uncover hidden motivations and foster deeper connections. From the 7 stories exercise to Carl Jung's creative prompts, these techniques transform ordinary interactions into meaningful exchanges. The book also highlights how our upbringing shapes our self-esteem, self-belief, and even our personality traits. Whether it's the impact of praise and criticism or the subtle dynamics of birth order, our early experiences leave a lasting imprint on who we become. By reflecting on these influences, we can break free from limiting patterns and embrace a more authentic version of ourselves. As the saying goes, the past shapes us, but it doesn't define us. To our incredible uplifting book summary community, thank you for being part of this journey. Your support, likes, subscriptions, and shares mean the world to us. To those who've been with us since the beginning and to those who've joined along the way, your enthusiasm and engagement inspire us to keep delivering world-class content. And to those who've shared this channel with friends and loved ones, thank you for spreading the love of learning. Your word-of-mouth support is the greatest gift we could ask for. As a token of our gratitude, we promise to continue providing you with insightful, thought-provoking, and uplifting book summaries that empower you to grow and thrive. Remember, knowledge is a gift that keeps on giving, and by sharing it, we create a ripple effect of positivity and understanding. So, let's keep this journey alive, subscribe, share, and let's continue exploring the wisdom of the world's greatest books together. Thank you for being part of the uplifting book summary family. Here's to many more chapters of growth, connection, and inspiration.